Two.
What's up, everybody? It is Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me, as always, it's the Will to my lion cat. It's Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Normal old Casey. What have you been up to today, though?
Okay.
Anything fun? Any video gaming or anything like that?
I played a little Halo this morning, but no. Otherwise, I went to the grocery store. Did some meal prep. That's
Yeah,
pretty much been my day.
I did this thing. So I went to Aldi the other day, and I got the because I saw it online, like this recipe thing, and I got the skin on chicken thighs, and I cut all the skin off, and I put it in a baggie off to the side. Then I cooked up my other stuff. Then when I would get hungry, I just tossed that skin in the air fryer and had it like little chicken pork rinds. Pretty sweet.
That sounds amazing, honestly.
Yeah, like you just salt it and you toss it in there, and they cook like they get like pork rinds. But like, my only downside is my air fryer. The first time I did it, I have like rows. It's not just the basket one. So like I had one on top, one on bottom, not thinking, and like all the grease went on the other one, and so it like they did not get as crisp.
Just kind of soggy and chewy.
Yeah, but the next time it was much better, but still very tasty. If you like chicken and you like crispy stuff, you'll like this.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, and then also speaking of Halo, I got some. So I was reading online that sour gummies are really good if you're going to be running long distance. Like it's the sour powder is good as far as like helping you get over your lactic threshold, and then also fast digesting carbs. So I bought some. I was eating them before running, but on the front they have oh, get exclusive Halo whatever if you, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna give this to Jake, but then it's like you have to have your receipt. I'm like, oh, I didn't even ask for one.
Well, it's the thought that
Yeah,
counts.
so I was like, well, sorry.
I like to picture Master Chief saying, "Spartan, where's your receipt?"
That would be hilarious. I like to think that like all you get is like like the Spartan suit that's like one top is pink, the bottom's blue, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Man, people would run that like crazy though.
That'd be the best tasting one.
Yeah, it's true. I was just thinking if I ate some sour gummies before running, I would 100% vomit sometime on the run.
See, like you can't just be like, oh, tossing this and now it's time to run. You have to like let it digest a little. Like I'll eat and then I'll drive to the gym or drive to where I'm gonna be running at, and then go. Give it that extra time to digest.
Sure. Well, anyway, we'll hop into our news here. I have practically nothing.
Me too. Mine just looks like a lot more because I was like I'm struggling. We got to find something.
All right. Well, you've got a couple more than me, so take it away.
Okay, so before we got on, I saw this and I'm like super pumped. So I just have to share it. Madam Web has finished filming.
Yes, our favorite
I
movie.
can't wait. So that's exciting. It's finally going to come out. Probably won't have any reshoots. So, who knows? And speaking of reshoots, Flash is getting more of them. They're going to come later this month with Ezra. Ezra apparently, oh, I guess they had, their big trial and they pled guilty, but they got time off or not. Then some of the stuff was done against, so it didn't, it ended up being that they get like community service and that's it.
Okay.
And then yeah, we're getting some Flash reshoots, so that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So speaking of like movie stuff, one of my bits here is that Giancarlo Esposito said that he wants to play Professor X, and in the notes I put Professor C and just left it because I thought it was funny.
That is funny. I've heard him talk about that before. I mean, I'd be interested in seeing it. It's so hard for me to like picture him as anything other than just a scary bad man, because that's the only way I've seen him in everything he's been in. So, I mean,
I think that was part of like the discussion that he was like, I want to be a good guy for once.
yeah. So I like I like the idea of him being Professor X more than I like the idea of him being Magneto, which a lot of people are wanting him to be Magneto. I don't like that one at all, personally. So, what do you
Yeah.
think?
I mean, the guy's a really good actor.
Mm-hmm.
My problem that is just a Jake problem is that I don't want to picture anyone else as Professor X than you know, Picard. Why can't I think of his name?
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, but clearly that can't happen always. So,
Yeah. Like that's the thing. He like when you those movies did such a poor job of casting everybody except for Professor X. And like that's the perfect casting for Professor X. It's like, well, it's only downhill from here no matter who you get.
yeah, agreed. Did you like Ian McKellen as Magneto?
Yeah, he was fine. It was just that Magneto seemed so watered down, like most of the characters in those movies.
Yeah, agreed.
But no, Ian McKellen's a very good actor, so it's hard to be like, oh, Ian sucked. It's like no. The only
No,
the,
he didn't.
the only downside to Ian McKellen was like in the later X-Men movie when he's Magneto, and you're like, ooh, buddy. It's like same thing with like Patrick Stewart. We're like, ooh, you're getting old, bud. This is
Yeah,
sad. It's I don't like this.
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so a new King Kong game is in development from Game Mill Entertainment. That's all I really got on it. I'm interested in seeing how what happens with it, if it's going to be a console game or just a game on our phones. But I'll probably check it out regardless. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping it's nothing against mobile gaming, but King Kong would be, I want like a triple A fucking game, and that's not gonna happen either, but it'd be
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, because like Toho's making good money with their Godzilla mobile games apparently, because they're like, yeah, let's keep doing it. Let's do an Ants crossover now too. Because like there's that Ants mobile game. I don't know anything about it, but
I
now they
thought you meant like the movie Ants from when we were
no,
kids.
it's like it's
It's like
like
who is
this
asking for that?
it's like this game where like you play as ants and pick stuff up, but then like now Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mothra are in it. So because they're like Toho's like, yeah, people play mobile games a lot more than regular games. Let's not make another Godzilla game. I'm a little salty on it. So
I couldn't tell.
I'm hoping this is good. And then yeah, I'll mention this. We got some not really Reed Richards news, just like rumors and people wanting to play him, but Glenn Howerton, who is old Dennis from Always Sunny, is interested in playing Reed Richards, but no one's called him yet. But he's like been like, oh, I'd like to play him. And then Adam Driver is apparently shortlisted to be the one to play Reed Richards. This is just a rumor going around, but I've seen it enough that I'm like, might as well because we don't have any news this week. I think it'd be fun with all the different people that have been rumored to be Reed Richards. If there's a part when all of them get cast as like the different variants of Reed Richards,
Right.
I think that'd
That
be
would be
great.
fun. I mean, of those two, do you have a preference?
I don't like either of them as Reed, so like I'm not a big Adam Driver fan, but I did see this scene from a movie he was in with Harry Potter, and it was like him sitting down. He's like, I just had sex. Now I'm gonna have some nachos, and, and he's like, and this is gonna be the best day ever, unless something that you're gonna tell me that's gonna be terrible. And he like looks over at Daniel Radcliffe, and like he's just like,
I don't know what the movie's called, but I've heard a lot of people say it was good.
yeah, I don't even know what the movie is, but I'm like, boy, just this performance alone has made me rethink my feelings towards Adam Driver because he
Yeah.
was the blandest person in that damn Star Wars movie, the new sequels that I watched. Just like
Mhm.
I'm like, boy, you're supposed to be the Darth Vader. Come on, bud.
Yeah, and he was still the most interesting character, which really says something about those movies.
Not in the first one, and that's the only one I watched.
Well, fair enough. I'll do my last bit
Okay.
here. So the punk styled Storm from our younger years, Casey, is getting a 5-issue miniseries in May by writer Ann Nesenti and artist Sid Koshin. So yeah, and I know that artist just finished up the Gambit miniseries. So if you guys liked that art and want to see more, then pick up the Storm mini that's coming out.
Did you like that art? Because I don't remember you showing me any pictures from it.
No, I really
All
didn't.
right.
It wasn't the worst, but I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
And also, I don't really care for Anna Senti outside of her long shot. So this one's like an easy pass for me.
Yeah. That's where I'm about with it. Like I was kind of interested in Punk Storm because, Punk Storm, but I've not read enough of Anne Nessanti to be like, boy, I need to read some of her. And then with that art, not being the
Yeah.
best, it's hard to get into that. Okay, some other quick stuff. Kevin Eastman's going to be at C2E2, just announced. So that's pretty exciting. You gonna try to get anything autographed by old Eastman?
No. I mean, I like the Turtles well enough, but I'm not a big enough Turtle fan to stand in that line to get
That's
something signed. And it's probably going to be expensive.
that's my thinking too. Like I'm gonna check out the prices beforehand, and I might bring Last Ronin, one of those, just to just because. And if the line's crazy, probably won't do it. But it's still be pretty cool to meet him
Yeah,
because he was my childhood.
sure.
Okay, and then Matt Reeves confirmed that the Batman 2 will focus more on Bruce than Batman. Everybody's favorite part of angsty old Robert Pattinson with his makeup on staring at stuff. Oof, can't wait.
Yep.
I feel like such a twat when I talk about that movie because like people love it and I'm like not into it.
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit, but whatever. I mean, if you didn't, you didn't.
I mean, I'm hoping it's like actually makes him do stuff with the Bruce character instead of it just being like where have you been, Bruce? At my house. It's
Well,
like,
I think a big thing is that he like Bruce wasn't really a part of the first one at all. So
yeah,
maybe he's going too far the other way, maybe.
I'm just hoping like since it is supposed to be the early years and all that stuff, they're like, oh yeah, this is him learning how to be Bruce Wayne now. That would actually be interesting. So we'll see. And then the last bit of news: Marvel has cast Miles Gutierrez for a role in Agatha. Lots of people say he will be Hulkling. If he's Hulkling, I just have one question: where is the beef? Because little guy.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I. I just saw the picture I saw when that was posted. I was like, oh, he better not be Hulkling unless he's gonna get like 40 pounds of muscle on him.
Right. Yeah, I just Googled him. I'm not familiar at all.
Yeah, no clue.
Oh, another quick thing though, because it popped up when I Googled that. Um, because I know Casey, you're such a huge fan of the franchise, but in Fast X, the 10th Fast and Furious movie, Leo Abello Perry will be joining the cast as Vin Diesel's character's son.
Oh wow.
So who knows what's going to happen there? But pretty exciting.
I
We're
think it,
supposed to get a trailer for that like next month, and I didn't even know that they were working on it.
I mean, I think I heard somewhere that they were working on it, but last thing I heard was like Vin Diesel being like, "Hey Rock, come on back to this franchise. I know we had our ups and downs, but we're a family." And then The Rock just kind of ghosted him. Like he was like, "We're not a family, you weirdo."
Oh, really? He's not in it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It'd be hilarious if they just did like, a bald brown guy from the back. And it's just like, hey, Dawn or whatever your name is, you showed up. And he's like, you just does the thumbs up and that's it.
Oh, it's so funny. I know that Jason Momoa and John Cena are going to be in it. I have no idea
That's
what just fell next to me. Did
yeah,
that
because
come through?
I mean, I heard it, but it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
But isn't John supposed to be Dom's brother?
Dude, who
Because he
knows?
saw because he did you see Fast Nine or no?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't even remember, man. There's like so many of them.
So this we should have a Fast podcast.
The Fast Cast.
Just to, every Wednesday we'll come out, we'll watch another Fast and the Furious movie and talk about it.
Wait, this came out last year?
Yeah.
Then no, I did
Wait,
not see it.
did it? No, it didn't come out. I don't think it came out last year. I think it came out 2 summers
F9
ago, right? Be
said
2021.
says F9 is a 2021 American action film.
Yeah, last year been 2022, bud.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have to give it a watch then. I gotta catch up on my Fast
Yeah.
franchise. Well, anyway, if you guys want Casey and I to watch all the Fast and the Furious movies, just kidding.
If you want us to do it all and do it,
In
so
one sitting.
we'll do it all in one sitting. We'll talk about all of it, and we'll live stream it on Twitch. You have to get 50 likes on this YouTube video. That's doable because normally it's just one.
And that one's Casey. Gosh.
Tell your friends,
man.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be so much Fast and the
Yeah.
Furious.
Because I would just go to your house and we would watch it together, and Brielle would be so mad.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you guys are gonna rent a hotel to do this.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Some people want it and some people don't.
You're not first, you're last.
That's right.
We're family.
All right. That's the end of our news, folks. So now we are going to take an ad break and come back and talk about some comics. So we'll be right back. All right. Do we even have a Fantastic Four this week?
I mean, I have one that I put in there from times past, so I think we can do that.
Okay. Well, anyway, what's the topic of the day?
Hold on. Okay, I'm back.
That looked comically exaggerated.
It might have been. Maybe just a little.
Gosh, you're ridiculous.
I mean, it's stuff like that makes people need to, watch the YouTube and give us another like along with the 50 we're going to get so we can do this.
Yeah. Definitely not overextending there by any means. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. You been playing anything lately?
Just
Or
talking.
watching anything? Oh, just talking.
Yeah, I've been playing that, and then watching wise, My Hero, been watching. That's been really good. What about you? You watching anything new or playing anything besides Halo?
Yeah, well, watching, Brielle and I finished the newest season of Dragon Prince. Which, man, it was like a few years between seasons, but I don't know. Do you remember that show at all?
No.
It's like a 3D animated show, but it's done by some of the people that did Avatar.
I don't think I've ever heard of it even.
Okay. Well, it's really good. We like it. There were lots of like Avatar Easter eggs in this last season. Like they're in this dragon's like horde room, and you can see Sokka's boomerang and Aang's glider, which was pretty cool. But anyway, it's a good show.
Good.
So finished that. I finished a book this last week. It was the one that we were talking with John Lees about, The Black Tongue Thief. It was incredible. Really, really liked that. Yeah. And then as far as playing, I'm playing several things because I've had a little more free time than I have here lately. And so I'm still playing The Witcher 3. I'm playing the Gwent spin-off game And then I'm playing the other Witcher spin-off game, which is called Thronebreaker, which is sort of I don't know. It's like you walk around this overworld and the graphics are very like Borderlands or Telltale Games style. And then any battle that you do is done through Gwent, which is pretty cool. So,
So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
yep, yep. Except with Gwent.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you go, it's
yeah,
time to duel every time or no?
no, but something. So I play I play the Gwent game with one of my friends, and I won't say his name in case he doesn't want me to, but we'll call him Bob. And every time I play with Bob, whenever I play like a good card from my hand, I always say in my best Yugi voice, I summon Pot of Greed. And I'm sure it gets incredibly old for him, but it
Yeah.
makes me laugh every single time I do it. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I just remembered something I was gonna ask you for the pod. So I'm gonna do it now. Okay. So you're what number is Thor's first appearance? Because it's Journey of Mystery, what?
83.
83. So let's just say someone walks into the shop and they're like, they have like a really good near mint condition, one of those, and they go, hello, I know you really want this book. Would you do a barter with me? And then they go, for this, your whole Nightwing collection, your first Punchline appearance. I'm trying to think of like some other stuff that you got that's like your first Better Ray Bill, your first. What are some more of your rarer books that you have? They're like, oh, your first Gambit appearance.
That one's signed.
Yeah, your first Gambit appearance, and then um,
I've got
ju-
a couple of 40s Wonder Woman.
yeah, I won't do that to you. But then your Justice League International that's autographed by the whole group, plus an extra $150. Would you do it? Plus cash considerations because this will be like an NBA trade.
Right. Man, that's so tough because my JLI issue is going to be tough to have that signed again. And like my Nightwing collection, like almost all of those issues are very doable to get back.
Yeah.
But I've got 0, 1, and I think something else autographed by Scott McDaniel. And they're like personalized, so that would kind of suck to lose too. So it's like I'm good with losing like almost all, even my Gambit. I'm like, yeah, for Thor, absolutely. But those couple Nightwings in that JLI really hurt. So I honestly don't know if I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd really have to think about it. I don't know. What do you think? You think that's too one-sided of a deal?
I don't know. I mean, if it's a mint copy, I
Yeah, I guess that's right. If it truly is like near mint, then how could you not? Because I mean that's like a $30,000 book, and I can tell
yeah.
you my Nightwing is not close to that.
And plus, I mean, with your Nightwing, at least just with your Nightwing, I'm not going to talk about the others, but you had fun going through the cons and looking up, and so it's just kind of like you get to do that all over again.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
But okay, I'm gonna make it even harder. They also want your first Taskmaster appearance too.
Mm, dang. You're choosing books that I've got signed, and that's
I
just so
know.
tough.
And that one, even if you find it again, you're not going to get it signed again.
Yeah, that's true. That makes it really hard. But man, for a near mint copy of 83, I almost feel like I'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do it.
Right on, man. You're like, oh, I just gave up some of my children for this.
Yeah, basically. All right, we want to do a Mad Lib.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The theme is together we can do anything.
Oh, they're gonna be fucking.
All right, an adjective.
Large.
Color.
Like green, but baby poop green, not just like a normal green.
Celebrity.
Millie Bobby Brown. No, um, let's go with trying to think of someone. Oh, Tina Fey.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that one. Noun.
Scrotum.
Noun.
Sphincter.
A number.
69.
Adjective.
um, Fast.
Person in the room.
I'm gonna go with Hercules. I got a Hercules poster in my room.
Okay. Type of food.
Sushi. I should have said butts.
Adjective.
Smelly.
Plural noun.
Thinking. Something good. Like monkey bars.
I like how that's something good. Adjective.
Slippery.
Noun.
Cum bucket.
Adverb.
Ginormous.
No, that's an adjective.
Oh, adverb. Quickly.
A noun.
Like a box full of just the a box full of the people that you killed stuff. Like you always keep a trinket after you kill someone. It's the box full of that.
That's gonna be fun to read. Person in the room.
King Kong.
Adjective.
Ginormous.
Adjective.
Rank.
All right, here we go. Together we can do anything. Large and sweet, Cream is a baby poop green rabbit who tags along with Team Tina Fey on their many adventures. Her best friend is a scrotum named Cheese, who wears a sphincter tie and is always willing to help out. Together, they've been on 69 amazing escapades, but none more fast than the one where they first met Hercules. Dr. Eggman had kidnapped Cream and Sushi from their smelly home. His plan was to capture all of the island's monkey bars and turn them into slippery robots to help build his cum bucket empire. Cream didn't know who would rescue them until Sonic quickly appeared and was able to free Cream and Cheese by defeating Dr. Eggman's This is so fucking stupid. Defeating Dr. Eggman's egg box of dead people's trinkets tank. Once free, they help Sonic rescue Cream's mother and King Kong.
What are you doing there, King Kong?
Okay. They help Sonic rescue Cream's mother and King Kong and drive the ginormous Dr. Eggman from the island. After that, Cream and Cheese were so rank, they joined up with Team Sonic.
I love the fact that it's like, this time she was with Hercules, and it's like, and then Sonic saved her.
And King Kong.
Yeah, King Kong was there.
And Dr. Robotnik built a tank that shot out dead people's trinkets. Holy shit. That's so funny. That's one of our better ones.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, folks, welcome back. Casey and I do another absolutely hilarious Sonic the Hedgehog Mad Lib over on the YouTube this week. It had me in tears. And then Casey asked me a very difficult question about comic books that I genuinely had to put some hard thought into. So if you'd like to hear all that, then go check it out on our YouTube channel. That's Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube. And yeah.
If you'd rather us do all that live for you, specifically you, all you have to do is give us your, biggest trinket that you have that you love more than anything. Maybe it's something that your dead grandma gave you, or maybe it's something that your dead best friend gave you. But, just basically, the more sentimental value it has, the better. Monetary value doesn't matter. But if you'd rather, instead of doing that, if you'd rather just hear this, just watch the YouTube, subscribe, hit like, so you can get to 50. And what comics did you read this week, man?
It was a pretty light week for old Jake. But I read Wonder Woman 795, Moon Knight 19, Daredevil 7, and Lazarus Planet Alpha.
You didn't read Flash.
Nope.
But it's a bigger week for me. So I read Mosely from Mosely #1 that came out last week. Godzilla Rivals, Rodan versus Ebra, those classic rivals. Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors, All Hail the King, #4. Ghostrider, #10. Wildcats, #3. Dark Ride, issue 4. The Flash, 1 Minute War Begins Here, 790. DC's Lazarus Planet Alpha, #1. And Daredevil, #7. So, do you want to start?
You go ahead and do a couple.
Okay, so to start, Mosely by Rob Guillory and Sam Lofty. I was a little worried when I found out Rob wasn't doing the art in this book, because I just love Rob's art, but the art in this is really good. Sam Lofty does a very good job. The story, it's pretty neat. It's like, oh yeah, too much technology, not a good thing. And then at the end, Marvin gets a big hammer and is doing some stuff. But like, the art works for the story, looks good. and I'm really enjoying it. I like Rob as a writer, like the art. I'm interested in seeing where this is going, so I'm gonna have to remember what Mosely is. Like that's the main downside to this book. It's like I forget. Like if you hadn't reminded me that day, I wouldn't have remembered Mosely was a thing. So that's gonna be one downside. But I enjoyed it a good bit. I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10. Only downside is it's like, oh, here's him in the past, and then he's doing this experiment with this robot. Jump cut 30 years later. I think about 30 years later, and it's like robots are everywhere and he hates them. I hate that stuff. I hate that so much. All right. So next up, it's Godzilla Rivals by James F. Wright with Philip Johnson on the art. And, you know, it's Ibra versus Rodan. Like I said, the two classic rivals, the Lobster versus Rodan. Rodan, the guy that almost beat Godzilla in earlier appearances and was was like a very good rival for Godzilla, is they're now like, let's make him fight the lobster that got boiled easily against Godzilla. This will be good. And then they make Rodan look pretty weak in this. And then also they're like, Rodan doesn't sell well enough. We're going to toss Biolante, Mecha Godzilla, and even a small appearance of Godzilla in there to really up them sales. So it's not a Rodan book, and I'm very disappointed because I do like me some Rodan. But here's this picture of Mecha Godzilla. The art in this book is fantastic. The writing is like not very good. The they really want their quirky characters to be interesting, and they're really not. And so it's just kind of relying on the fight between the two monsters, and still like Rodan should stomp Ebra easy. Ebra has never done anything that would make you go, maybe he could take Godzilla, or maybe he could take Rodan. No, he couldn't at all. So yeah, it's pretty meh. And then this one sets up like it's like, oh, maybe we're gonna get sequels to this one, unlike all of the other ones we've gotten. And it's like, boy, I hope not. But the art in it is very good, so that's the plus in it. So I'm gonna go 5 out of 10.
Dang. It's too bad. I kind of thought that Ibra would launch it to 10 out of 10. No
I know.
problem.
One time, last time I watched that movie, I bought a lobster because Aldi had lobsters that you could buy for Valentine's Day. So I bought myself a whole lobster and I boiled it while I was watching Ibra. And I'm like, this is the perfect movie to do this to.
That's so funny.
But Godzilla Monsters and Protectors All Hail the King #4 by Eric Burnham and Dan Schuing on the art. And this is fun. Like, it's still not great, but I'd say it's more than good. You get the little okay, cool. But yeah, like, it's revealed that I was right, that King Seesaw is here. He's showing up in the next one with his fur bikini and everything.
He looks cool.
I love me some King Seesaw. But yeah, this is a fun book. I'm disappointed that she doesn't have to sing. All she had to do was pray to him. Because last time we talked about it, I talked about, she did have to sing in the movie. And then I played the music over this, which I'm going to do again because I think it's funny. And then I will talk about Ghostrider #10. Oh, with that one, I'm going to say 7 out of 10. It's perfectly fine. I think I'm not the recommended age group for it, but it's a fine book. The Ghostrider #10 by Benjamin Percy with Corey Smith, who's also got David Cutler on the art. And I like this book a whole bunch. Ghostrider's just wrecking stuff. He's got a ghosty out chainsaw. Oops.
Oh, nice.
Looks awesome. So cool. Kills demons with it. And then, we see more of whatever his name is. Plan Nightmare, I think. Or no, Blackheart, sorry. Blackheart's plan. and then they kind of win the day, but then it's like, ah, it's not over yet. It's one of those things. But I'm, like I said, I'm very much into it. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
With exhaust and all this stuff, I'm ready for Vin Diesel to be a bad guy in the book.
Ooh, that'd be good. That'd be great. It'd just be him talking about family.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
his power.
yeah, it's just the power of family. Um, you want to do Wonder Woman, then I'll do my next three, and then we'll do our
Sure.
Muchies.
Yep. I've got Moon Knight as well.
Oh, okay.
So first off, I want to show the variant cover by David Nakayama. This is like legit one of the best covers I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, just amazing. But yeah, this book is cool. This is like the second part of the Wonder Girl, Wonder Woman team up. Basically they fight Eros. The art's really good. Meanwhile, Steve and Cheetah and them are dealing with stuff back in the city. And then after the fun little team up between the Wonders, Wonder Woman comes back and everybody is being brainwashed into like being obsessed with her and loving her, which is no doubt Dr. Psycho, but anyway, it's just a to be continued thing, but it's really good. I like Wonder Woman a lot, which makes me really happy. I like liking Wonder Woman. And I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Right on, man. How does that compare to Batgirls for you? Like, would you say
Um,
it's, like writing wise?
yeah, both are solid as heck, man. I mean, I loved that little stint where they were jumping between pantheons. I thought that was like crazy fun. But now that things are just back to normal, it's still like holding that level of fun. So I really think that those two are killer writers for both books.
Right on, man. Okay, so now I got Wildcats #3 by Matthew Rosenberg and Steven Segovia on the art. And this is a lot of fun. You got them all just, like basically the new 7 Soldiers of Victory coming out, and it's very much like they're kind of like the 7 from the boys, where it's like, oh yeah, they're there for the PR. Like there's a part when they're all the Wildcats are being shot at. It's like Zealot and some of the other people that I don't know the names of, and they're all being shot at and stuff. And they're like, well, where's the 7 soldiers? And they're like, oh, they're off doing a PR thing at this other spot, so they can't come out and help. So like, we'll get Grifter to help instead. And then yeah, it ends with Grifter falling out of a helicopter, and it's such a good time. I like this book a whole lot. Rosenberg is very good. The art in it is exceptional. You should be reading it, honestly. At this point, if you're not reading a book that's got Rosenberg's name on it, you're doing something wrong. But that includes you, Jake. But it's very good, and I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. And that's not the pick of the week?
No,
Dang.
there's good stuff this week, man.
There was. There really was.
All right, and then Dark Ride, issue 4 by Josh Williamson and Andrea Brezin on the art. And I like this a lot. This book, it's getting better every issue. Crazier stuff happens. And one thing that I like about it is you don't know where it's going at all. The sister that was looking for her brother was like, she found him. He's very much dead. And he'd been dead, like he's been hung in this thing for a while. People were like, oh yeah, I thought it was just part of the attraction and no one noticed. And so a lot of stuff's going crazy. But then that made all of the people want to go to this, you know, place even more, because there's, it's all these horror people. So they're like, ah, yeah, dead bodies and stuff. And then like probably one of the most disturbing things, they make this reporter put on one, like the mascots, grab one of the reporters. I'll show you this part first. Like, oh yeah, put on the mask, you know? And so then here's what's inside the mask,
Oh, that's creepy.
right? And he gets murdered.
I'm surprised.
So yeah, this book is really good, and it's like all sorts of turns. I don't know where it's going. I'm here for the ride, for this dark ride. I've made this joke already, but yeah, I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. Very good. This is like Williamson's, doing good work. And then I will talk about The Flash. And this has got Roger Cruz on the art with Jeremy Adams writing it. And this book, and I mean this as a compliment, this book feels very much like early 2000s, late 90s Flash. Just so good. So good. You get all of the Flash people and, all this stuff going on. Stuff's hit the fan. And yeah, I am so pumped for this event. Jeremy Adams is just crushing it on Flash. There's nothing really wrong with this. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. That's my pick of the week.
Nice. I figured it would be if it wasn't that other one. You, I, you told me to read it, and I probably still will. I just haven't been at the shop since you texted that to me to
I
pick it
gotcha.
up. But
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, this is like the perfect jumping on point because it's the start of this new event, so you might as well.
and pretty much any appearance of Our Man, and I'll at least check it out.
Yeah,
So
and plus it's your girl too, old Liberty Bell. So
yeah, yeah. All right, my final one is Moon Knight, number 19 by Jed McKay and Federico Sabatini. And this one's pretty cool. Hunter's Moon and Moon Knight are teaming up underground against or helping the mole people because they're like being enslaved and stuff, which is weird. And then the other half of the issue is like a psychiatrist that Moon Knight knows is talking to Zodiac while he's in jail. And there's lots of conversation and really shows why Zodiac is an absolute psychopath. Um, the one thing that I'm going to knock on this book is that the cover, great cover, he's fighting this guy. That guy shows up and Moon Knight has him defeated in like 5 panels. And it's like right at the end of the book.
yeah,
So it's just like, what was the point?
it could be worse. It could be like how DC will do covers that look like they should be out for the next issue.
Yeah.
Like they were doing that a lot with when that one stuff happened when they did the redo of like the Green Lantern and
Yeah.
a bunch of
Yeah,
those
that was
books.
bad.
So
It's still cool though. Then at the end, we get a couple of guys, and you see it better on the preview for the next issue. But a couple of guys who look like they'd be in the Jabberwockies or something are loading up some guns, and there's a bunch of scattered pictures of all of Moon Knight's closest like friends and family on the table. So you know how it goes. Stop the bad guys from killing your loved ones. But it's really good. I mean, Moon Knight's always just an absolute knockout for me. So give it a 9 out of 10.
pick of the week.
No.
Okay. So do you want to do Lazarus Planet or Daredevil first?
Let's end on Lazarus since it's like the start of an event.
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
I wasn't hot on it. I was pretty bored with it.
Okay.
But no spoilers. So yeah, Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky and Rafael Del Lator and Marco Cicchetto doing art. And initial thoughts, my man.
I mean, I like it. It's still on the same track it was. I actually really like seeing the stuff at their like training ground happen more than some of the actual like conflict that's going on. That part with Elektra and Scream I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Also, Delator I just love how he draws Elektra. Like
Mm-hmm.
just the huge hair, but she's absolutely gorgeous. As is the art in all these issues, but no, it's cool. It's like really ramping up into this whole versus Punisher thing. But anyway, what do you think about it, dude?
Dude, I loved it. Yeah, I thought all that stuff was, that they did was really, really good. And we also get a Stiltman sighting and his beautiful stilts. So that was awesome. And yeah, no, I mean, like the only downside to this is like I would not be against a Daredevil book and an Electra Daredevil book that covers
Mm-hmm.
both, comes out twice a month and like one covers Daredevil's, Matt's side, one covers Electra's side. Be awesome.
Yeah,
Like that, that would just give us a little bit more and I'd be all about it. Or maybe just make this a little bit chunkier book and have a backup with Electra each week. But other than that, I have no complaints. I'm still really loving this. And it's like, how is this done by the same guy who's doing that terrible Batman story? I like the last issue, but prior to that.
agreed completely. I think that every time I read an issue of Batman.
So I'm at
But
a
anyway, yeah, it's like a oh, go ahead.
I'm at a 9.5 for me.
I am also at a 9.5, and that one is my pick of the week.
Right on, man.
Which leaves us with Lazarus Planet Alpha. And it's written by Mark Waid with art by Riccardo Federici. And then there's a backup by Gene Luen Yang with art by Billy Tan. So I don't know. Maybe I put too much value on Ricardo's art, but man, the art was something else in this issue.
I'm gonna say this art, it's very good in parts, and then also just some of the worst faces I've ever seen. Like, look at Blue Beetles do like holy crap. Oh, and then Captain Marvel too. Or I mean Shazam.
I think that's unfair compared to the good that's in it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of really cool and a lot of really good.
Especially Blue Devil. Blue Devil looks so damn
Yeah,
cool.
he does. But it's just like there's just times where it's like, dude, you don't need to be doing a face close up right now because wow. Like Shazam, my mouth's really big.
I think you're too harsh on it, but to each their own. What do you
Oh no.
think of the story, though?
Uh kind of just made me go like I'm kind of bored with this. I don't know. Like the devil stuff was cool in the other littler books, but now that's like they're making this into a whole thing. I'm like much like it's kind of dragging for me, and it's like it should have probably ended at World's Finest, and then it's like when it got brought over to Batman versus Robin, I'm like, this is still I'll keep going with this, and now I'm like, still, you know, so I don't know, and then the end, I'm not very into the ending, and then also like all the magic guys and like Phantom Stranger picking up a sword to help fight was a bit odd to me, but yeah, I mean, I might be overly harsh on it. What were you thinking of the story?
I mean, I liked it, honestly.
Yeah,
Um, I didn't expect to, but I love seeing all the magic folk and stuff kind of group up there. Um, because these guys really don't get that much spotlight. So
right.
I'm excited to see this event kind of around them. And then I wasn't hot on that ending too with that final page, but it looks cool and like uh and I just hope it doesn't turn out to be another one of those like Batman Who Laughs things. But we'll see. Either way, I liked it a lot more than I didn't like it, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I probably had a 6. I thought it was fine, but still, I mean, maybe it's just because I read all of Dark Crisis, and now I'm like, I could use a break from all these damned events, and then
Well,
it's
guess who didn't read all
yeah.
that?
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just me going like, I just need a break, and they're all, DC's like, no breaks for you.
Yeah, I feel you. Are you gonna keep with it or
Yeah,
no?
I mean, I'm probably not gonna read because like I don't have much interest in the monkey dude, so I'm probably not gonna pick up that next one in the thing in the event since it's the Monkey Prince whatever.
Yeah.
Probably won't do that, but then there's that other one, the Lazarus Planet Assault on Krypton. I'll probably give that a shot. So it's gonna probably just be like, oh yeah, unless this is like they're like, no, no, you have to read this because this holds all the secrets with the Monkey Prince. And I'll be like, shit.
I get you. All right. Well, what are you excited for next week?
Um, I am excited for let's go with Hulk. I haven't said Hulk in a little bit. Monkey Prince, I love that book. So good. No, Strange, and then I will say World's Finest, because so good.
I'll go with Batgirls, new champion of Shazam, and I know there was something else. Oh, probably Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I actually think that book's a ton of fun.
Right on, man. Okay, so now it's time to end, and I was just thinking the other day when we had Preston on, I wasn't a big fan the first time I read Arkham Asylum. I like it now that the second time I've read it, but it's beloved. So I'm just thinking, like, what are some times where like you read a book that everyone's like, this is the greatest, or and even if they're like, this is a terrible book. And then like, the ones that are terrible, you're like, this is pretty great. And then when, something that's everyone's like, this is the greatest, you're like, or I don't even like this at all.
Sure. Um, I will say The Dark Knight Returns is one that people love and I don't. I'm not saying it's the worst, but wouldn't say that I enjoyed it. Um, and then on the flip side, you could throw in a couple event books, man, that I know were like crazy back in the day, but um like Secret Wars or 0 Hour, something like that. I'm sure it was like crazy awesome back then because everyone's favorites were all in the same thing, but now we're so desensitized to stuff like that because they're putting it out one right after the
Mm-hmm.
other. That I look back on those, I'm like, man, this is like a slog to get through.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm trying to think of another one like Dark Knight Returns that everyone loves and I don't. Can you think of any for
I mean,
me?
I already know one that's gonna be on both of ours, Watchmen,
Oh, Watchmen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go.
and then
Yeah.
also another one that's gonna be on both of ours, The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Good idea. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, that pretty much wraps up my list. So
Yeah,
thanks for doing half of it.
no problem, man. So yeah, Watchmen and Walking Dead are on mine. I couldn't get into either. Like Watchmen, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I can see where it's really good. I can see like I can go like, oh yeah, other comics have taken from this, and that's why I don't like it as much because I've read stuff that's around because of that. But then Walking Dead, I was just bored to tears with that first trade. So that I don't know what the deal is with me there. Um, and then another one I had one in my head that I was gonna say. I was like, this is oh yeah, Ex Machina by Brian K. Vaughan. And oh old dude, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. The dude that did Starman.
James Robinson?
No, the artist in the like first set until him and James got in a fight. Uh,
Oh,
what is his name?
um,
Can you hit up the old Google machine? But
yeah.
it's by both of them. I love both of those people, but it's like also a very heavy political book, and it's one of the first comics that I've ever fallen asleep while reading.
Oh, Tony Harris.
Tony Harris. I knew it was Tony, but I kept wanting to say Tony Moore. I'm like, I know it's not Tony Moore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tony Harris, and like the art in it's really good, but the story itself is just too political heavy, and it's very boring to me. And then trying to think of a book that I'm like, I actually liked this. That people Civil War, the original Civil War. I always hear it get a bunch of flack, and I actually enjoyed that. Probably Mark Miller at his best, which
I completely agree with that.
yeah, like I mean, and it's like one of those things where I just see people online crap on it. It was probably beloved by you know non-angry online folk, but yeah, it's one of those ones where I do enjoy, and I think that was Steve McNiven also at his best because McNiven's very good, and I have a feeling like if you're reading it monthly, it was probably pretty rough because McNiven takes a while, and so does Mark Miller. So those probably didn't make things too easy on him.
Yeah. Right on. Well, there you go, folks. Let us know which ones fit your list because we are genuinely curious.
And then also you can just tell us if you think we're wrong. If you're like, nah, dude, Walking Dead, it's the chef's kiss, or you're like, oh man, Ex Machina, beautiful, or whatever.
I can see us getting the most flack for probably Watchmen.
Yeah. I could see Walking Dead too. That's got tons of fans. So
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's the end of the episode. So, closing plugs, if you would, please go to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, go to our YouTube channel. That's 2worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're there, you leave a comment that just says the words family for our Fast and the Furious cast. But we'd love to stay in chat, but I've got to go with Jake to kill a bunch of people that are beloved by a comic book, in a comic book that no one wants dead, and I'm still salty about, and then just disappear and not come back.
Bye, guys.
I need to hit stop recording.